Hello, and welcome to Spoiler Piece Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. My name is Evan Crean. My pronouns are he, him. I am co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast.
My name is Dave Riedel. My pronouns are he, him. I do movie stuff, whatever. And I am also a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association.
That you are. And this is kicking off a new era here at Spoiler Piece, and getting back to me and Dave doing the show. And so let's see. So for starters, over on our Patreon this week, we are talking about a pretty zany action movie from 1989 called Blind Fury, directed by Philip Noyce and starring Rutger Hauer and Terry O'Quinn. And we had quite a fun conversation. So if you're a patron, check that out. If you're not, consider joining for $5 a month. Mm-hmm. So we have that. So that was fun. And thank you to our sponsor piece patron, Heather Sachs. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
And we have one movie for you this week, and it's the new horror film Whistle, which is directed by...
As my father would have pronounced it, Whistly.
Whistly?
Yeah. Well, I've told you how my dad always intentionally mispronounced things when I was a kid. Yeah. He called the Beatles the Beatleys. He told me that yacht was pronounced yacht. Yeah. So I'm just imagining him being like, "Oh, do you see that new movie, Whistly?"
Whistly? Yeah. Yeah. It's a horror movie, in case I didn't mention. And I love the tagline, "Don't blow it." I think that's a great tagline for a movie. It's
I was going to say, is it maybe the best thing about the movie?
Ooh, shots fired. I guess we're going to have some stuff to talk about.
We certainly are.
It's directed by Corin Hardy, written by Owen Egerton, and it stars Daphne Keane, Sophie Nellis, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Percy Hines White, Nick Frost, and let's see, Ali Scoveby, Sky Yang, yes, and Michelle Fairley from Game of Thrones, and kind of like a bit part. She's kind of like the person who's gives you the backstory, the mythology of the whistle in the film. So I'll do our 2-sentence IMDb summary, and then we'll dig into it.
2 sentences. Deadly.
A misfit group of unwitting high school students stumble upon a cursed object, an ancient Aztec death whistle. I love how Aztec death whistle is all those words are capitalized. They discover that blowing the whistle and the terrifying sound it emits will summon their future deaths to hunt them down. Shockingly accurate. IMDb, good job on this one. So yeah, I mean, they get this whistle and you blow it, and from then on, it's kind of like Final Destination style. This supernatural force is stalking you, waiting to kill you in whatever way you're supposed to die. So if let's say one of the people is like, "Oh, you were supposed to die at age 40 in a, I don't know, car wreck, or you caught on fire." And so it's he is killed by fire. And then when they find the body, they're like, it was the body of a 40-year-old.
Right. Oh, that was the kid who died after the basketball game.
Kid. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he died. He was supposed to die in a fire when he was 40. By the way, everybody in this movie has a horrific death, except for the pretty girl who just dies of old age.
Right.
So you kind of think that when her ghost is coming after her or her future self, why are they all evil? Why are they fuck you, you died now, bitch? What? I don't get it. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. The opening scene is this intense basketball game where the opening shot is of a whistle, the referee blowing the whistle in a basketball game. And then, you have this kid who he makes the buzzer beating, 3-point shot to win the game, but he's being stalked by this entity that's a smoky, flaming entity. And then he thinks that he's safe, and then he goes to shower, and then this thing very much in the vein of Smile, reaches down his throat and sets him ablaze, and then everyone on his team rushes because they hear him screaming, and then you find him like flaming to death. And then like fast forward to now, like he's been dead for a little bit. I think it's the start of a new school year, and Chris, who's played by Daphne Keane of
Logan.
Deadpool and Wolverine and Logan fame. She is new student at the school where her cousin is, and you find out that she's a recovering, drug addict, and there's, backstory that she killed her dad, and people think it's like, oh, she murdered him, but no, it's like really sad story that like they were rushing to the hospital because she OD'd and then he got killed in a car accident. So she's there, and she's like meeting up with the other, kids at the school, including like this douchebag kid who is kind of like the bully. And let's see, she finds the death whistle in her locker, which was the basketball player's locker. His nickname was Horse.
I got to break in here for a second.
Yeah.
What school on planet Earth would not have cleaned out the dead kid's locker? Because all of his shit is in there, not just the whistle. Like it's got school papers and like all kinds of shit. It's like,
yeah, that's weird that they wouldn't have cleaned it out. I mean, like clearly the whistle just keeps like reappearing. It's like, like Annabelle or whatever. It's like, you can't throw it out. You can't, it's like, because like at the end of the movie, like some other kid now gets it after they've like beaten it or whatever. But yeah, so they end up getting in detention, and Nick Frost, who's the teacher who puts them in detention, gets the death whistle, and he realizes that he could sell it for a hefty price online. And then he blows it, which summons a thing that kills him. And it was interesting because it was like when I first saw there was like a creature or a ghost or whatever down the hall in the school, and it's like nighttime. It's like him and the janitor are there. And it was like cricking and creaking, and it was like almost like zombie style, which felt like an homage to Shaun of the Dead. And this movie is loaded with horror homages. Like
it is.
His character, Nick Frost's name is Mr. Craven, and like other people, like one of the characters, her name is Grace Friedkin. Like everyone's kind of got like horror homage names and stuff like that.
It's the most clever thing about it. I think so. Yeah. So I'm getting the feeling we disagree. Oh no. Oh no. Well, now I've done it.
It'll make for a more fun discussion. But yeah. So anyway, so Nick Frost gets it. He's dead meat, and he's killed by his future self, who was a stage 4 lung cancer. So this thing like reaches inside his chest and like, I don't know, puts a bunch of tar in there basically.
Yeah. But I mean, and they say it's done in such a way. Now it ages him rapidly. And so when you see him dead, he looks like his older dead self.
Right.
But nobody mentions that at all. They're just like, oh, it turns out he had stage 4 lung cancer and he didn't know. I can't believe he was walking, can't believe he's.
Yeah.
And you know what? That makes sense. You hear about that kind of shit all the time. But you know what doesn't happen? They don't look like they're 67 all of a sudden.
Right. Because all of his hair like falls out. And like someone makes a passing comment like, oh, it looks like 10 to 15 years older or whatever. In addition to like, him just being like bald when they find him. But it's like crazier when that one girl gets killed by old age and then they like find her like decrepit body, and they're like, who is this? An unidentified student. We don't know who this is.
I mean, I hesitate to say anything in this movie is realistic, but that seems a little more realistic of a reaction,
Right.
Like, oh, we can't identify this body. We don't know who this fucking person is. Dental. Yep. That's how they identify the kid who died in the shower, by his dental records, because he was so thoroughly burned.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I mean, it takes on the traditional, like I said, Final Destination style thing where they're, on the run from these, things that are trying to kill them in whatever way that they're supposed to die. And they encounter, as I mentioned, Michelle Fairley. It was her grandson and her daughter who got killed by this thing. He was the basketball player, and she reveals like, okay, I got this for some fucking place in like what did she say, like Guatemala or something?
I can't remember.
And yeah, it comes for you. It's going to kill you, and it basically just activates whatever you're supposed to die, and kills you in the way that you're supposed to die. And it's like you killing yourself. And like as you find out, like with the girl that dies of old age, she tries to hit this thing with a shovel and ends up wounding herself. Or like
that was one thing I actually did like.
Yeah, I thought that was a really fun idea. And like the shitty youth pastor drug dealer guy, played by Percy Hines White, he's shooting the thing that's coming at him, and so he's shooting himself with a gun later in the movie and killing himself. So I thought that was kind of a fun idea. But yeah, so they're like, okay, it boils down to like her, Chris, and Ellie, who's played by Sophie Nélisse, who is she plays the young Melanie Lynskey in Yellow Jackets. So I was like, I knew her from somewhere, and then I'm like, oh yeah, she plays the young Melanie Lynskey in Yellow Jackets. So they're a thing, like they have feelings for each other, and they're like, how can we, cheat death? Basically, we have to like die and come back. And so Ellie is diabetic, and so she uses like insulin basically to like kill Chris temporarily, and then like she's gonna revive her with like a defibrillator, but then the drug dealer guy shoots it and blows it up, but she still somehow comes back to life. And
well, he ends up accidentally shooting her, and I think that's why her like future self doesn't kill her, because she's supposed to die of like an epileptic seizure or something, right? Like that, right?
Right. Yeah. So it seems like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say when she sees her like future dead self, it looks like it's not very far into the future, like possibly even within the next like 10 years. But yeah, I forgot to mention that part of the mythology is you can cheat death by like dying and coming back to life, or it seems like you can cheat death by putting your blood on someone else at the moment where you're supposed to die. So because Percy Hines White shoots her and there's blood all over the place, and he's a fucking weird sicko, he puts her blood on himself, and then that's when the thing gets him. It comes after him, so it doesn't get Ellie.
We have forgotten to mention the way that Daphne Keene's cousin dies.
Yes, I was gonna come back around to that. So
you were? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like the other people, so the cousin, he gets crushed at the steel mill in like the I don't even know what the right word is.
I mean,
crusher.
It looks like what you would put. It looks like a paper shredder, except it's industrial sized, right?
Yeah. And then there's the jock shitty guy who is drunk driving all the time. So he gets torn apart in a drunk driving accident.
His death is actually, I mean, I wish these deaths were practical or as much as they could be, because his is particularly gruesome.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, like, one thing that struck me about this movie is that it has two of the most gruesome deaths I've ever seen in a horror movie. One being the guy who literally gets ripped apart from a drunk driving accident in front of his parents, by the way. They see him being torn open, and like his hand gets shredded in half, and then the cousin is getting crushed and shredded, and there's just blood flowing everywhere, and they're trying to hold on to him to keep him from going through the shredder, and he's just more and more slowly just being ripped apart, like piece by piece by piece. It's almost like he's caught in an invisible God, what's the fucking thing for the trees when they put the branches in? The wood chipper. It's like he's caught in an invisible wood chipper, and it's just like ever so slowly being killed.
Mm-hmm.
And those deaths are fucking gruesome as shit, and they were deeply unsettling to me. But I agree with you about them being all CGI and that maybe taking some of the piss out of them. I still thought they were fucking horrifying.
I thought the drunk driving thing was pretty gross. The shredder one, not so much, just because like you really saw, like, there was heavy foreshadowing for that one, so
right.
I kind of knew what it was going to be, and he knew he understood what it was when he saw it. It's like Chris didn't get why her future self is like standing in the tree outside her window. I'm like, oh, is she going to hang herself from that tree? Like, what the fuck? No. It looks like the way it plays to me is it looks like Chris's death is actually resulting from the insulin overdose, not a drug overdose like they thought. And for some reason, they're able to revive her because her future self is like, what the fuck? when she gets away.
Yeah.
But yeah, the drunk driving accident was particularly gross because it starts, they slow it down. It's kind of like slow motion eventually.
Right. And you hear like the sounds that would be happening in a traffic collision where there's like horns and crunching of metal. And then there's all this crunching of bone and stuff.
Yeah. And like at the end of it, like half of his face gets ripped off, like something out of like Death Proof. Because one of the characters, like the tire goes right over her face in one of the first deaths. It's like that. Maybe that was an homage to Death Proof. I don't know.
Could have been.
There's an homage to Chinatown in this, of all things. When they slice open the creepy pastor's nose. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's that.
I was thinking that, or is that actually a reference to Chinatown? But then I was thinking, well, Daphne Keane was in Logan and she had the snickety snackety claws. Maybe it's a reference to Logan? Because are these people that clever?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was like a scary thing to do to somebody. Like he pulled the knife on her, she wrestled away from him, stuck it in his nose, and then just like...
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it is. What was I going to say? Okay, so then the way it all kind of comes together is they've cheated death. They're Ellie and Chris are an item now in school, and the new girl who gets the locker finds the whistle, and she's about to give a recital to the school, and she goes up in front of everybody and blows the whistle, and all the while Chris and Ellie are like, fuck no, don't do it.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of the end of Truth or Dare, in the sense that you remember the way that they like break the Truth or Dare curse is they give everybody in the world the Truth or Dare curse by putting it on YouTube.
Yep.
Kind of made me think of that, you know?
Yeah. It was also very reminiscent of Smile 2. That's like basically the end. Did you see Smile 2?
I did not.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either of them.
They're really freaking good horror movies.
You've told me that I would probably
Smile 2, but this is like, this ending feels straight up ripped off from the end of Smile 2, where it's like a public performance is what, like, now everyone's going to be infected with it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you had fun.
I did have fun with this movie. It's definitely not, it's cribbing heavily from lots of other things, but I really like this idea of death coming for you in a way that if it fast forwards whatever death you're supposed to have, and these deaths are very gruesome.
Well, that's one thing I was thinking about is like, why is everybody's death so gruesome? First of all, except for, I guess, you know, the pretty girl, I don't remember her name, but I mean, she does clearly die elderly. You know, she's just, she dies of old age. But like, why is like your death, why is it like stalking you like a ghost, like some kind of asshole? Like this is what I wonder like about movies like this. It's like, I like the idea that the whistle just kind of shows up, which the Game of Thrones woman says, she's like, oh, we can't, it's just in our lives now. We can't get rid of it. And it's killed everybody, but it won't kill me. And it's like, well, why won't it kill you? What the fuck? Did nobody blew it in your presence? Also, what kind of spell does this thing have over it? Because when Chris first finds it, she almost blows the whistle and then she gets interrupted. And then she ends up taking it to detention, and that's where Nick Frost finds it. And it's like, this thing is fucking, it's a skull. It's stone. It's covered in dried blood. Like, why are you blowing this thing? I mean, I know.
Yeah, beats me.
The demon's got some kind of fucking power or something. But I mean, it's so, you know, it used to drive me crazy when Siskel and Ebert, and I think it was Ebert in particular, would just call horror movies from the 80s dead teenager movies. And but it really doesn't. I mean, this movie doesn't, to me, have really. It's highly derivative.
Yes.
The deaths are at least pretty decent, I will say. But you've got characters who serve no purpose other than to provide plot fodder. In this case, the nice guy from. I've only ever seen him play a nice guy before. The pastor. My Old Ass. He's like the boyfriend in My Old Ass.
He was great in that.
He's terrific in that. And I'm just kind of, I was looking at this and like the guy who directed it, what's his name? Corin Hardy. The last movie he directed was The Nun. I mean, The Nun's a piece of shit.
It's terrible. Yeah.
And this, this movie, it has some style. It has a little bit of flair, but I don't see anything even remotely original in any of this. And also, why is it when you have a performer who looks like Daphne Keane why do we always why is the main character always some kind of weirdo misfit that you stick a bad wig on? Like, I don't understand where this is coming from.
Her Lydia Dietz hair that she's rocking. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. She's rocking Lydia Dietz hair. Would have been interesting to see what Winona Ryder could have done with this character in 1990. And, I will say at least Daphne Keane is roughly the age of a high school senior. I think she's what, 20? She's maybe 21. She's young.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I was just kind of sitting here, kind of watching the beats. And, a couple of the deaths happened so early in the movie. It's like, this movie's an hour and 40 minutes long. Like, what the fuck is the rest of this movie going to be? You've killed off like 60% of the characters already. Like,
right.
Like what? I don't get it. And then, the arbitrary, well, if you cheat death and then you pi r squared and then you like run backwards while you're drinking a Coke, you can fool your own. Like, what? Like, what is all of this?
Yeah, I don't disagree about some of the stuff. Like, highly derivative. Like, I think it's trying to pay homage to a lot of things, but I think it's kind of doing it in a like corny way. Like, I enjoyed that the place that the steel mill was called Verhoeven Steel. That was pretty funny to me.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff was just too on the nose. Like, there's like the other basketball player guy who's friends with like the drunk driving guy, and he's dressed up as fucking Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf, yeah.
It's just like stuff like that. It's just like, okay, we don't need to like go that hard. I did think this movie had a banger of an opening though. I did think the basketball game, the intensity of like the whistle blowing, this like buzzer beater score, but like the guys getting distracted by the like smoky apparition in the stands, and then like the thing fucking appears. And you're just like watching the basketball in slow motion kind of like dance around the rim. I thought all that stuff was really effective.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I looked up Corin Hardy because I didn't know what other movies he'd made, and then I saw that he'd made The Nun, and I was like, well, okay, here we go. And then I saw a picture of him, and you know what he looks like? He looks like a hipster Amish guy. I mean, I don't know.
Amish or hipster?
Yeah, I mean, now he's got a mustache, which with his beard, which an Amish man would not. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, of course, this guy who looks like he walked out of, a 90s alt rock band, like Adam Duritz Jr., is fucking directing shitty movies like this. Now, I will say, it's shitty. I don't think this is a good movie, even a little, despite the fact that it has some decent direction and the performances are above average. I think we've gone... In the horror movies that I love of the 80s, unfortunately, by and large, the acting, not stupendous.
It's never the strong point.
Well, I think one of the things that horror movies have done, particularly in the last decade, maybe 2 decades even, is they've really gotten like people who can act to be in these movies. Like, it's just nice. It's refreshing. I mean, Lucy Hale can act. She's in Truth or Dare. What's the movie I'm thinking of with Jane Levy? It's a remake, Evil Dead. She's the lead in the Evil Dead remake. She's fucking fantastic.
It Follows. You got Micah Monroe as a really terrific actor.
Yep. So I really appreciate that. Well, and think about, let's just, since we're talking about The Nun, you got the Vera Farmiga, and I mean, she's not the main character in The Nun. I think her sister plays the nun in The Nun.
Oh, Tessa Farmiga, yeah.
But she's in the other movies in that series, I guess is what I mean.
Yep.
As Lorraine, what's her name?
Warren.
Thank you. I wanted to say Lorraine Newman, but I'm like, no, that's Saturday Night Live. So I appreciate that the acting is good in these. And I actually think that like the guy who plays the asshole jock who dies in the drunk driving accident is really good. But it's like, why are we boiling this down to archetypes? You know, you've got this not bad idea of this fucking weird whistle that you don't know where it comes, and if you blow it, you die. Great.
Right.
But then you have all the characters are just like shitty archetypes. You know, you've got the shitty jock and his shitty pretty girlfriend, but she's not actually shitty. She's kind of nice, but she tolerates his bullshit. And then you got the weird chick and her weird cousin, and then like, you know, the would-be girlfriend who's like really smart because she was gonna go to medical. It's like, what the fuck am I watching? Can't we like can't one of them, I don't know, be a fucking steel worker, and one of them, you know, is like owns a bar, and then one of them is a librarian but doesn't know anything about horror, like is actually into like 19th century French poetry. Like, I don't know. I mean, you know, and then you've got the fucking old woman dying of cancer from Game of Thrones who's like, yes, I will tell you everything and nothing at the same time.
Right.
So, and then also, it really seems strange to me. This movie obviously has a budget, but I feel like they blew most of it. Like, you know, the pool set where, you know, the pretty girl lives and they all go after detention, and then the rather intricate Halloween like
festival, the Harvest Festival with the crazy corn maze or whatever it is, the hay maze or whatever it is.
I was just like, well, whoever did the production design on this kind of knew what they were doing. But then you had the last third of the movie taking place in like a shitty warehouse.
Yeah, with like, there's like nothing. There's like literally nothing there in the warehouse.
Like, yeah, we can do whatever we need to here. It's like we can throw blood everywhere. We can do this. We can do that. I don't know. It seemed also totally off from everything else. And so I don't know, man. This is just like, I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not good. I don't, you know, I don't know. You seem to like set me straight. What am I missing?
No, I mean, I just really enjoyed it. I think it's the performances I think are good, as you said. And I think the deaths are good. Like, they're well done. They're creepy. They're fucking gross. And yeah, I think that those pieces, despite its highly derivative nature, were working for me. And I really got hooked by the opening. I think the opening really sucked me in, and then I was like, okay, I'm on board with it. Even though I agree with you, like the mythology is a little shaky, the whole how you can cheat death is a little shaky.
Yeah. Well, and then the ending is just like shitty. Like you think it's derivative of Smile 2, which I haven't seen. I'm sure you're right, but I found it to be derivative of Truth or Dare. You know, which is
right, which I had forgotten about. But you're right, that is the same.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I just kind of feel like, I mean, there are worse ways you can spend a Saturday night with your peeps, you know. But
oh, totally. There's a lot worse horror movies out there for sure.
Yeah, I just
like, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I don't know. I guess I was into it more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the writer's credits, and he wrote a movie. His most popular movie on Letterboxd is called Bloodfest. Do you know that movie?
No.
Fans flock to a festival celebrating the most iconic horror movies, only to discover that the charismatic showman behind the event has a diabolical agenda. And that, frankly, sounds like the plot of Demons, a very weird 1980s Italian horror movie that takes place in a movie theater.
That is a very specific movie to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. It's the same in the sense that it takes place in a movie theater, and like weird shit starts happening at the theater. But I have not seen Bloodfest, so I can't say whether it's derivative or not.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I really do think that probably the best thing about this is the marketing line, which I don't think the filmmakers probably wrote. So
no, probably not. They usually leave that to the marketing people, right?
Yes, they do. They do. I don't know. I was really, I didn't watch this at night because I was like, you know what? Just in case it's good, I'll watch it, during the day. And then I watched it this morning and I was like, I could have totally watched this at
night. Yeah, I watched it during the day too, but mostly just because I wanted something to watch during the day.
Oh, well, I'm not disappointed that I saw this. I mean, I'm always down to watch a horror movie, as you know, although I did go through that phase like a year long where I just didn't want to see horror movies. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I was kind of on the same page as you for a while where I was also just like not interested in watching horror, especially stuff that was like involving like kidnapping, torture. I was like, I kind of really hit a wall on that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. It's like I could never really get into torture porn. I don't know why. It's just not for me. Despite the fact that, I love gruesome fucking slasher movies. Like I love bloody gore, like Giallo films, fucking bring them on. But, I remember I saw Hostel and I knew nothing about torture porn. Didn't know who Eli Roth was.
Fucking Hostel.
Yeah, I know. Although I had seen the other movie that he did about the it's not a virus, it's a bacteria, right? The one that melts your skin off. Takes place in like a bunch of friends go camping. Yeah. Why do I feel like Jessica Capshaw's in it? Maybe I don't know. Anyway, so I had seen that, but then I saw Hostel and I was like, this is what people are calling torture porn, and this is not for me. Not because I was like super grossed out. It's just kind of like, ew.
Like, was this Cabin Fever that you were talking about?
Cabin Fever, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that wasn't torture porn. That was just like a weird bacteria in the water is making your skin fall off,
yeah.
Which is gross. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that really has nothing to do with Whistle. But yeah,
So we're kind of split on this one.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with your criticisms, but I think it's I would say between see or not see, I would say see it. It sounds like you would say do not see.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though. I mean, if you like, I'm not so I was watching this and thinking like, this is not very good, but I didn't dislike it at all, so I always like seeing Nick Frost pop up in things. Although his acting choices in the last 5 years or so, his film choices in the last 5 years or so, I've just been like, Mr. Frost, do we need to have an intervention?
Right. Yeah.
Like, who do you owe money to, sir? Because it's just like, even though the performances in this movie are good, he's on such a different level. Just like he's so at ease doing his thing that it just kind of makes everybody else sort of look like they need to take some lessons.
Right. Yeah. And everyone else does seem like amateur hour when he's around, And I kind of like, I saw he was in this. I was like, okay, like he looks like he's playing a teacher. So he's probably not going to be in it a lot, but I was surprised how quickly they dispatched him.
I was surprised too. I mean, his name's not actually that high up on the credits list, so I guess I shouldn't have been surprised, but his name's all over the marketing,
Yeah. He's all in the trailer from what I saw of the trailer.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if you've got Nick Frost in your movie and he's definitely the most famous person in this, then of course you're going to like have him all over everything.
Yep.
Anyway, I just like, he's made, I don't know how many horror movies he's made lately. He did that one where he was like the family patriarch of those fucking weirdos who invited everybody to that.
I know you really disliked that one, even though I enjoyed it quite a bit.
And then he was in the one where was he a serial killer? Like, what was that one?
Yeah, he was like a cab driver, serial killer.
Right.
It was that the mythology on that one was very confusing.
It was, yeah. But then, I don't know how long, it's got to be a decade now. He made this movie like, I want to say 10 years ago that also stars Rashida Jones. And it's about a guy who doesn't look like he's the kind of guy who would win a dance competition, but he like wants to be a competitive dancer. I don't remember what it's called. And it's good. It's fun. It's like a little comedy drama. And I was like, oh, this is what we're going to be seeing Nick Frost doing now. And it is not.
Nope. No, he's definitely keeping it interesting. Is this Cuban Fury? Is that the name of it?
I think so. I know. It's a sequel to Blind Fury, but just with a different flavor.
Yeah. Oh, it's also Chris O'Dowd. I'm completely unsurprised that they would be in this kind of movie together.
Yeah. So, anyway, have we missed anything? Have we forgotten anything about this?
I don't think so. I mean, there's a weird kind of subplot about like a comic book character called the Revenger that's in the movie.
That plays into nothing.
That plays into nothing and kind of looks a little bit like the Crow.
Looks like I thought it was the Crow until he said the Revenger. And
yeah.
I was like, I'm assuming that's this movie's own mythology. I don't know.
Right. But yeah. I think we covered it. I would come down on the side of see this one. I think that's where I'm landing.
I mean, your mileage will vary.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right for your take on this.
Yep.
All right. Well, this was a fun conversation, even if we weren't completely aligned on how we feel about the movie. So, that wraps us up for Spoiler Piece Theater. Want to say a huge thank you to our editor, Otto Glamour. Otto, thank you for making it sound so great week after week.
Thank you, Otto.
You can find us anywhere you get podcasts. We also have a website, spoilerpiece.com, and there's a link to our merch there as well. You can check out our TeePublic store and get some Spoiler Piece merch. And yeah, we're on social media. And I will be the first to admit that Megan was running her social media, so we may need a minute to revamp there. But basically, you can also email us spoilerpiece@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to get back to you and chat with you about pretty much whatever, whether it's one of the movies from this week, another movie, something we did on Patreon, or just some other random topic. We like to hear from listeners. If you like the show, please rate and review us by going to ratethispodcast.com/spoilerpiece. Always appreciate the ratings and reviews. Helps give us cred in the podcast world. And then if you really, really like the show, we do have a Patreon. And for $5 a month, we do weekly bonus episodes. We've been doing a poll as well. And yeah, as I mentioned at the top of the episode, we talked about the 1989 action film Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer as our bonus episode. And you also get access to hundreds of bonus episodes that we've done over the course of the time we've done the Patreon, which is a while now. It's crazy. I think.
Yeah. I don't even know how long it's been, but I mean, Chris was still with us when we started it. So
yeah, it's true. So that'll give you an indication.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that finally wraps it up. My name is Evan Crean. I'm co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, co-host of the It's Pictures podcast. You can follow me on social media as Real Recon, and that's real as in film reel.
And my name is Dave Riedel. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and all of my social media is Dave Sees Movies, except for Twitter, where I am not there, and Blue Sky, where I am David M. Riedel. I don't know why I did that.
Keeps things interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks. Bye.